CBS46 News presents Public Affairs on Peach.
In the last decade, clinical depression and anxiety among young children between the ages of 12 and 17 have increased dramatically. But do you know what to look for in your teen or your tween? When is it just a typical teen mood or something a whole lot more serious? Well, joining me now to talk a little bit about it is author and holistic advocate Lori Warren. Lori, thank you so much, all the way from Boston.
Yes, thank you for inviting me.
Well, this is such an important topic. You've got 4 kids. You've been through this, so you know what we're talking about.
Absolutely.
At what point, I read that you had one of your kids' 8th grade teachers who was really pressuring them to work harder for college.
Yep. His 8th grade teacher told him that he better get on his grade, and he's a good student. He just did not well on the test. And she was pressuring him, like, the college grades, you need to pay attention, get on this. And he came home and I'm like, no, they're not. They're not looking at your 8th grade grades.
Wow.
We need to have a discussion here.
Now, and you say tweens are already feeling this pressure.
Absolutely.
Are we overscheduling our children?
Absolutely.
What can we do?
I think as parents that we need to sit back and take a look of what society is showing us means to be a good parent, and what we feel means to be a good parent, what we want for our kids. Do we want them to be stressed out all the time, or do we want them to have a little more space in their life, a little more fun? Kids, tweens and teenagers fun is less than it was when you and I were going to school, I think.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it begins really with healthy eating, you say, to minimize some of the stress. How do we do that?
Healthy eating is so important, and a lot of times people are like, healthy eating, what does that have to do with? So our food really affects our mood, our behavior, our brain function. So even kids are on eating a lot of sugar, gets you amped up. I've had kids come into me with ADHD, get them off sugar, and all of a sudden,
wow.
Not every case, but
there's
certainly some. So just underlining that brain function is really attached to what we eat. So helping kids make healthier choices is really important.
And the big one that we see that we didn't have when we were kids, digital detoxing.
Yeah. So because the kids to, teen and under, so the Gen Z kids, because they grew up with this technology, like they've had it since they were very little, they don't understand what life can be like without it. You and I do understand that. So most of the studies now are showing that kids are literally addicted to their phone, meaning with dopamine, that they get, tweets and texts and snaps,
all
and this
day.
Feeds their self-worth all day. And most of the studies show now that if you take a phone away from a kid, they're anxious without it. So it's important to help them understand what's going on with their brain with this. It doesn't mean, we're their parents, doesn't mean they're going to listen necessarily the first time, but it'll help them start to get a different perspective since they don't know anything different.
What about meditation?
Meditation is absolutely, it beats everything else for anxiety and depression in kids.
Wow.
Or in people in general. It beats the drugs, it beats everything. So what I tell parents is, try and find, and there's lots of people, there are, football people that use meditation, there are hedge fund managers. Find someone your kid thinks is cool and show them, hey, this person uses meditation to help relieve their stress and anxiety and be really present for their life. Let's try this together. Let's try one of these apps. We'll do it together. And try and get them interested in meditation as a tool.
Yeah, because your mind's going everywhere.
Absolutely.
And you said being perspective savvy. What does that mean?
So that means the way that we move through our life, how we think our life experience is going. I had a good day, a bad day, this person was mean to me, this person wasn't. It's all perspective. It's how we're viewing the world. Like, you and I know that, but kids, and actually a lot of adults, don't understand that. So if you say to your kid comes home with, this person's mean to me all the time, you can say, gosh, I wonder what that person's home life is like.
Wow.
Like, it's not personal for you, Jerry. It's not your thing. This kid's having a tough time, and he's bringing it to you. And it doesn't make everything better, but it takes a little bit of air out of the situation.
And lets them have another perspective, something clean. And it's really important, you say, to have an open dialogue with our children.
So important. Thank you for bringing that up, Karen. So it's hard. Teenagers are known for being moody.
Yeah.
Right? So there's always that tricky gray area of, are they just in a teenage mood, or is something really wrong? And so I always encourage parents to open the dialogue, and it doesn't mean in the moment they're going to respond and say, oh yeah, let me tell you everything, Mom.
Because they won't.
They probably won't. But you've opened a door, they know the door is open, the subject's been brought up, which, like the conversation we just had, takes a little bit of air out of it. Oh, someone's noticed. They noticed that I'm struggling. And so, and then repeated attempts at that helps them feel comfortable opening up to you. Of course, as always, if your teen or tween seems dark and like they've been in a sad mood for a long time, absolutely seek the help of, help of a mental health professional.
Yeah.
Because you do not want to play around with that. But start in the beginning as a parent, just talking to them, try to see if you can get them to open up. The open dialogue is so important.
And we know girls are a lot different from the boys.
They sure are. Absolutely. I've got 2 of each, and they're very different.
Oh my gosh. Laura, you have some amazing things. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you, for inviting me.
And if you'd like to learn more about what we've been talking about, check out Lori Warren's new book, Wild World, Joyful Heart. It's hitting Amazon and other bookstores on October 8th.
Yes.
Fabulous job.